Hello, Mark.
Hey James, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm here to ask you about Call of Duty.
And I'm here to answer your questions about Call of Duty.
Is it fun?
It is fun.
That's a wrap. We're done. Now tell me about the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare reboot.
Reboot, yeah. So I don't know really what I was expecting from this. I finished the story up yesterday. Probably took me around 7 or so hours to blitz through it.
That's not bad for a campaign.
It's okay. I've seen people do it in 4, which is actually not good. But yeah, I don't know, because this was billed as being the most controversial and polarizing in years, and there was a big sort of furor built up around, you know, the fact that it was going to be different. And to me, it really is more of the same. It's so it's the story of, I don't think I'll be spoiling too much to say, a ragtag group of Spec Ops soldiers led by Captain Price and some freedom fighters are chasing down some Arabic terrorists and some Russians. Stop me if you've heard any of this before, because that to me is every Call of Duty game, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to be harsh, but they're not known for being hugely innovative, are they?
Well, this is the thing, and I was under the impression, or I was under the hope at least, that this story would be different and there would be some interesting points to it. And don't get me wrong, there are a lot of interesting moments in the story, which in hindsight, at the time I was just like, oh, okay, great, this is happening. But in hindsight, there's actually some big decisions to make. But they're kind of done under the guise of, oh, this is a big moral decision for you as a soldier. I'm just like, nah, I'm just like, you know, I'll shoot the woman. Don't worry about that.
Point and click.
Yeah. And, you know, I think it's maybe trying to be a bit more grand than it is. Again, it depends what you really want from a Call of Duty game. At the end of the day, it is just it's an action movie, but you play it.
Okay.
And I think if that's what you go in expecting, then you'll have a good time with it. But if you're expecting it to be different and have, you know, sort of morally delicate subject matters,
yeah,
it just doesn't, I'm afraid. It really didn't get me like that.
A lot of people I know just play for the multiplayer anyway.
Yeah, well, this is the thing.
You know, leads me on to my next question. What is the gameplay like?
So the gameplay itself is pretty good. There's been a lot of innovation, sort of brought the Modern Warfare formula into the modern day. You know, you'll aim down sights and it'll feel like an optical sight, or shotguns are particularly have been reworked so they actually feel like you're properly using a powerful weapon. The sound design is all really, really good as well, and it's the immersive feel of being in a battle is definitely there. What I would like to have seen more, when they strip all of that away, so you have your big set piece COD battles, obviously,
yeah,
you know, there's wide open field, waves of enemies flying at you, and you're gunning them all down like Rambo. But the parts of the story that really stood out to me more were the sort of more intense, quieter, more claustrophobic battles, as though you feel like you're part of a special ops team as opposed to just, you know, an action movie hero. I would like to have seen more of those, and I think those moments are where the game shines.
I agree. I like the claustrophobic feel. My first Call of Duty thought is that plane mission. Yeah, you're in a tight, compacted space. You know, that's to me is definitive Call of Duty.
Oh, is that Mile High Club?
That's the one. That to me is like, that's my favorite. It's sort of a John Wick kind of moment, really.
Yeah. So they consulted actual Navy SEALs for this, and there are points where you can feel the influence of real life covert operations.
Yeah.
And like I say, those are the point. I wanted more of that. Maybe they felt like they had to offset that with, you know, the big moments to tell a story to the previous COD Modern Warfare fans. But I think if they'd have lent more into the Spec Opsy kind of stuff, that would have been better.
Okay, so in terms of reboot, it sounds like they've not hit that in gameplay or story.
Yeah, but again, like, calling it a reboot, I think maybe they've done themselves a disservice, because again, the story is fine, it's great, it's engaging, if you're going in there for an action movie. If you're going in there, for, like I say, for like moral choices and stuff, it's not there, it's not as prevalent as I think they probably hoped people would say it is.
How does it hold up graphically?
Graphically, the game is stunning. Again, I can't really say much about the storyline in case people haven't played it, but there are moments in there where I was genuinely dumbfounded by how good it looks, and there were also moments where I was dumbfounded by how average it looked.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a mixed bag. So I played it on PS4 Pro, which you would hope would be one of the better editions.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think if you play it on PC, that will be the ultimate experience, because, you know, you can obviously ramp the graphics up as high as you like.
Master Race.
PC Master Race, exactly.
I can't be bothered spending that much money. I'll take the bad image.
But they're not bad. Don't get me wrong, James. They're not bad.
I'm getting you wrong, Mark.
Stop getting me wrong. But yeah, a lot of the times I felt like I was there. You know,
yeah.
It felt very real. Again, in the quieter moments and in the covert operations, that's where the graphics shine, as well as the sound design. The sound design is very good.
Okay, so overall, is Modern Warfare an improvement on previous installments, or is it just more of the same?
If you're going to measure it up against Modern Warfare the original, which I feel like that's fair because that's how they built it, is it as an iconic story? Is it as revelatory as that game was? No. Is it a good time, and does it make COD feel fun again? Yes. I really really am conflicted over it. But I think people will have a good time with the story, with the gameplay changes. And I haven't really played much of multiplayer yet, but I imagine that's where the game is going to come alive. So, you know, take it with a pinch of salt, but I think they could have done, for me, for my money, they could have done more to make it a better experience.
And that's just the campaign?
Just the campaign.
Okay, yeah, because multiplayer, what I've played of it so far, I think it's great.
Yeah, ditto.
That feels like everything. So all that's left to say is, thank you, Mark.
And thank you, James.
Bye.